we go. How you doing, everybody? So I am up here at the mountain farm today. Did a resupply and had to get rescued, I guess you could say. My mom and dad yesterday had my ankle swelled up real good and had a bunch of gout. So mom insisted I go to get it x-rayed and everything. All I really needed was just some medicine. And so today I'm good. But I had to go on an adventure and get it all x-rayed and checked out. It's not anything serious. But the past couple days I did sleep by the river, which is really pretty, on like a little sandy type beach. And so now, since I came back to mom and dad's house to resupply, I gotta unsand everything. Sand and everything. Especially because I wasn't walking real well, so my dad had to carry my bag and I wasn't able to pack it up real good. So everything is somewhat of a mess right now. Actually, everything is a lot of a mess. So we're going to head back out tomorrow. I'm pretty sure. I don't see any reason I'm sticking around too much longer. And we're going to go right back where we left off, and we're going to go hit Lost Cove, and go actually try and find that tomorrow because it looks like a lot of fun. No, gout is definitely no fun. That's one reason I told mom I'm pretty sure I knew it wasn't stress fractures or hadn't broke, because it hurt too bad. So gout hurts worse than a broken bone. I've had both. At least in my opinion it does. It hurts bad enough in the toe or a finger. I've never had it in my ankle before. That was definitely not pleasant. So now we're just going to get all the sand cleaned up and get repacked and ready to go. Go find Lost Cove and then get on the last stretch of our walk. So I was looking, I think we're going to go, just because of the 4th of July weekend, I think we're going to run it up through probably the 2nd, even though we left on the 28th. I'm just going ahead and go a couple extra days to the 2nd, and that way no one's having to drive over like the beginning and end of the holiday weekend. We'll save the driving for in between. So I still got about 2 weeks, which is good. Maybe at some point I'll actually get around to catching a fish, which I've caught some little fish. But just the area we have to be walking through right now is not big trout water, and I'm just not really set up real well for bass. And plus, since my ankle's been hurting the past 3 or 4 days, I wasn't able to actually get out in the water and do any fishing because it hurt too bad to stand up, and especially on those rocks and that give and take, I was not able to do any of it. They're never any big deal, Mom. So I always carry one of these. I did have to use this for a little while this weekend. Oh, good grief. Yeah, just for a minute. At the beginning stages, sometimes I found with the gout, just a little bit of pressure will help relieve it. So I took a break, there by the river, just to let it go. So see if it would heal up on its own, but it decided not to do that. Oh, thank you very much. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, even though it's just a Hallmark holiday. Way to make money. But that's okay. Father's Day's alright. All the other ones, though, we should do away with. Yeah, I ended up having to, I don't know why, but Mom, of course, did her mom thing and got a hold of the volunteer fire department, which was nice, them having the extra help, but we could have done it ourselves. Wasn't any reason to get everybody. And then day before yesterday, everybody was up in arms because I lost my little power bank that I used my solar panel and charged the power bank at night, and so my phone went dead. And then just, I don't know, like 11 or 12 o'clock, day before yesterday, I finally plug it in a little bit, or the sun comes out and I plug it straight into the solar panel, and it comes on. I've got all these missed messages, and everybody's freaking out like, where have you been? Like, I'm in the middle of the woods. The power went out for like 5 hours. It was pretty funny. Alright. So definitely a lot of things I've learned on the packing. Definitely dwindled down a lot of what I was carrying. Cut the weight down. It won't be as bad next week or next year, or when I do it again, if it's this year even. Which he still won't be old enough. But as soon as Copper can carry all his extra weight, it really won't be bad. It's one of the things that slowed down a little bit this year, or on this particular trip, is been carrying a lot of extra weight. But we about got all that figured out, which will help when, if other guys start going with me. So, even not really getting in a hurry or anything, it still doesn't make it much fun when you're trying to. Sorry. All right, but yeah. So I think I saw the geese. The last live I did, I think it was last week when we were here, and they just moved them over, and Mom had to make another little pool. It looks like they've been in there a little bit, maybe. Those guys are funny. But yeah, we'll be going back over to, I'll be heading back out tomorrow. Probably may not hit the Appalachian Trail tomorrow, but I'm gonna go find Lost Cove tomorrow. And yeah, I think the guy will be fine now. I've got my medicine and stuff for it. It's gonna be good to go. And then tomorrow when they go drop me off, we'll pass by, I'm sure, somewhere and find we'll find the vitamin shop, and I'll get me some black cherry pills or a little bottle of the extract. I like the extract better. That's one of the reasons it's feeling better now. And so it flares up from time to time. But of course, everybody's like, Aaron, you need to get healthier. When I get gout before, everybody would fuss at me. Aaron, if you stop drinking and stop eating red meat and will stop smoking, your gout will quit. Okay, cool. 3 weeks of not, drinking and eating red meat and eating actually pretty healthy and, exercising a lot every day. And what happens? Bad gout attack. So I'm about to say everybody else is just full of BS, and I need to go back to my own ways. It seems like being healthier is harder. It's just my opinion. So, but yeah, so we'll end up doing, I think it's about 34 or 5 days by the time it's all done. We'll be left on the 28th. Oh, thank you so much, Julie. I appreciate that. We'll be going up until Yeah, probably July 2nd. So from the 28th to the 2nd. Yeah, I think I've lost a little bit. There's I don't know. Mom's got a scale down here somewhere. I'm sure I have, just because I've cut a lot of calories in beer and I've been exercising a lot. There's even days where we haven't walked a lot on the Appalachian Trail. We've still walked everywhere to fish, and it's still been real active. So, we've spent almost every night outside. We've only spent a couple nights inside under a roof. A couple of little different hostels, just because that's been really a lot of fun. Seeing some of those and meeting a few places. So the trail's been fun. A lot of technical glitches. So we'll keep running with the hopefully the next couple of times I'll go a couple extra weeks, because now it's finally, up until yesterday, it started getting a lot easier. Body finally started getting used to everything. But cause it's just an urgent care ban. I had to go get some gout checked out, get some medicine for a gout flare up I had, which wasn't much fun. But so it's just an urgent care. It's not a full, nothing too awful bad. It felt bad after the medicine started working. Now it's actually feeling much better, so that's good. But yeah, just get on and do a live update. Get over here, we can finish cleaning out my pack. My camera. My ankle was hurting pretty bad, and I could have found a better spot for the night, but it was actually really pretty right by the river, but it's kind of like sleeping right on the beach. Sleeping in a big old pile of sand. That is a lot of sand. Alright, there we go. Now I'm just going to let everything dry off for an hour or so, get rid of the dampness, and then we'll pack it all back up and be ready to get back on the road. And yeah, I guarantee I dropped a few pounds right there. That was a lot of sand. Everything's going out here. Copper's inside play with his cousins. It'll be about 2 if I went straight on number days. I think I don't remember. I think it's like 8 days or 9 days left, something like that. If I did just 30 days, but I think I'm gonna run until about the 2nd of July. Just there in between 4th of July weekend and all that stuff. So I think it'll be all right. So about 2, I guess it's just like right at 13 days now. I'm still gonna be out. Oh yeah, Mom must have missed that comment. Mom, I don't know why she decided the trail led to the side of the river, but she showed up just drenched, and she just walked to the edge of a big rock and like fell 4 foot down to the river. Like nowhere near the trail. I'm not really sure, but it was when I found out she's okay, it was actually kind of funny. I mean, she went like drink, it was like high, just walked off the edge of it. So that made made it pretty entertaining. Yeah, it's been quite an interesting trip so far. So now hopefully we've got all the craziness behind us. We'll get some good walking in and maybe even find another place for fishing. But this next stretch I really want to get started on. It's going to be hard. It's a hard stretch. It goes up Rome Mountain. It will be about 6,700 feet. One of the highest places. One of the highest places on the trail. So that's going to be really good to see. Really pretty views. And that's one reason I want to give myself a couple extra days, because I want to make it up to the lake. And there's supposed to be good fishing up there, and fish for the last day or two, and then we'll be heading home. We'll stay here for a day and then head down to Georgia. Yeah, Mom was noodling. So, but yeah, I need to look over the map here in a minute. Let's see. I think we've made 100 some miles. We've actually walked more. My initial estimate of I kind of thought we'd average about 6 miles a day. We've actually beat that, even with days we haven't walked. We've beat that. I've watched a few of them. I've got to catch up on them here while I have good enough service. It's hard to find service to really watch a whole lot of stuff and get my power bank replaced. Yeah, so we walked about 104 miles so far. So we have finished, actually works out pretty good, because we have finished, we started here and we walked this whole map. And then you can see we walked this whole map to here. And this is where I've been fishing up and down the Nolichucky River. So we're going to start back right here. We're going to go find Lost Cove right here. And then we're going to walk back and hit the trail. The trail's the yellow line. And so starting, let me see, how far is that? That's 8 miles, 9 miles. So it looks like we're going to actually be able to start this map. So we've almost finished one map. All right, and to give you guys an idea of the difference in the altitudes, well, I said this next session is going to be, we'll be starting back here a little bit. But when we hit this map, when we start going up over these mountains and Roan Mountain, like this last bit we did was kind of tough, but you can see how the elevation looks right here. And then you come down here and you see the difference. All this elevation, well, not quite 67, it's almost 6,500 feet, but it's up there. It's up there. And so once we leave from the Nolichucky River, we're going to be way up high, and we might hit some good fishing. We might do a day of fishing here, and then a day of fishing at these gaps if there's anything small. But then we're going to try and as soon as we get done there, we're going to hump it, and we're going to try and walk this section nice and quickly so we can get up here to the last part of our map, the last page, and do some fishing here in Watauga. And then if there's not any good fishing, then we'll go ahead and try and finish up the map. But either way, that's our plan. Kind of the plan. Hopefully the plan doesn't break anymore. Hopefully I don't break anymore. But I'm looking forward to the Lost Cove adventure. About 5 or 6 miles back in there, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to the walk up to Lost Cove, camp at Lost Cove, see if it really is haunted, and then leave from there Tuesday. Weather has been warm. Weather has been warm. Yeah. The day's not. Yesterday was, day before. Got a little bit of a cool down, but starting into next week, it's going to be warm again. Now being where I'll be at, being up going up over Roll Mountain, next week ish. Well, everywhere I'll be next week's gonna be 5,000-6,000 feet. So like the old bird farm might be getting to see some 100-degree days. I still probably won't see anything much over 85. Now the areas in lower elevation now they're gonna be up in the 90s, like here where Mom and Dad is. But no, I'm gonna be all probably down in the lower 80s, especially being under a heavy canopy in the forest and at elevation. It's actually gonna be pretty nice. Oh, that's one thing I'm doing today. One reason I stayed around here is drinking lots of water and fluid and cherry juice and stuff. So I think I've about got it whipped. But yeah, everything's doing good. Thanks, Ramona. But I got tired. I slept a lot today. I didn't sleep good last night because last night, of course, Copper decided everything was a bear and he had to bark at everything. So he'd get up and he'd run around and jump on hit my foot, which would then hurt and wake me up. So yeah, yesterday didn't sleep much last night. Yeah, it probably is the dehydration, not drinking enough. What bothered me this time? We'll just make sure and make our water a little more easy to get to. Yeah. As long as you're within state guidelines, you could carry one if you wanted. I haven't felt like I really needed to worry about it on this trip. It's pretty safe. The trail's pretty well patrolled now. So I was looking at it before when I was getting ready to do it, and there's not that much crime at all over the whole length of the trail. Yeah, the elevation makes a massive amount of difference. That's for sure. A whole lot of difference. So once you start getting up over a mile high too. Yeah, Mark. I know get Robert probably will come help around a little bit. But yeah, everybody. Well, I think Mama Bess has dinner finished up. And I'm gonna leave all my stuff setting out right there for just another minute or two. And well, probably another hour or two. So I'm finished drying it off, put it all back in the bag, and probably gonna drop a couple more things out of it that I don't think I'm gonna need. Yep, and then make it a little bit lighter and turn it in. No, I don't. I haven't had any issue. I've never had any issues with altitude sickness or anything like that. Still in my lungs a little bit, but I've been at a lot higher altitudes than here. Hey, look, there's Robert. You know, I mean, in Afghanistan, our area was so high that our Humvees wouldn't run because the air was too thin. We had 15,000 feet in the Kush Mountains, one deployment. So this is pretty. I don't even consider this really much elevation. So luckily, no, it doesn't bother me. Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. Just the change of pace, I think, helps a lot. So everything's helped a lot here. Plus, I haven't had anything to drink or anything like that now in 3 weeks. So almost, has it been over 3 weeks? Almost 3 weeks. Almost 3 weeks. Well, I guess it has been 3 weeks today, huh? Yeah, Copper, he's actually been kind of lazy, and then when he's not been lazy, he's been tormenting his older cousins. So he's been a little bit of a turd today. Yeah, it's driving me crazy, but I decided I would wait until after I got done, which kind of sucks that I added a little bit of time onto it because I'm ready to about get rid of this thing. It's driving me nuts. But yeah, we'll get 3 weeks, and then I think it's 13 days from when I come home. So I think I'll end up doing like 5 weeks total out. So something like that. Play it by ear. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, heat's not fun. I've seen pretty crazy heat. Yeah, it's a good thing I have mom and dad here. It would not been fun without them. That's for sure. And no, the fishing has eluded me. Even the days I had set aside planning for fishing. Uh, One, my ankle started hurting, so it didn't bug me too much. But two, it rained really bad up the river and made the river really muddy, uh, and dingy, and which I don't think any other people were having much luck. But I was hurting anyway, so I wouldn't be able to do much fishing. But yeah, for some reason, I've accepted the fact this wasn't supposed to be as much of a fishing trip as it was a walking trip. Uh, Between Copper breaking my rod, me breaking a newer rod, then sending the stuff for my rod, just the craziness that's happened with the fishing equipment and how it's went. So, oh well. Sometimes it's just not in the cards. But maybe next week it'll get better. Yeah, Copper, when he sees fish in the water, he cowabungas after them. He just jumps in and then can't figure out where they went. Copper loves anything to do with the water. So a lot of the sleeping on the river part, we didn't even worry with the tent. There wasn't even any point because he's just going to get everything wet and stinky in the tent. So we just put a tarp up and just slept without the tent, so that during the day I could put stuff on the tarp to dry out from Copper getting in the water right before bed, and then running and jumping on the sleeping bag. Yeah, Copper's a goober. I talked to Robert a little while ago, trying to get all our plans ready for when we get back to the bird farm and homestead. We got a lot to do around there, so we're looking forward to that. So him getting some new stuff to make things easier for us and make it easier for me to drag more stuff home and him to drag more stuff home. That's always fun. Thank you very much for that. My mom's keeps making some funny noises. Yeah, of course he is. Like we need anymore. Oh man. Well, guys, I think that I'm going to go ahead and call it an evening here and leave you guys with a look of Mama Best's little geese here. And I think we are going to call it a night. And head in and get ready to get packed up. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.